This is the White Coat Investor Podcast, Milestones to Millionaire, celebrating stories of success along the journey to financial freedom. Here is your host, Dr. Jim Dolly.
This is Milestones to Millionaire, podcast number 13, Teresa the Millionaire. If you'd like to be a guest on our podcast, you can apply at whitecoatinvestor.com/milestones. Whatever the milestone you've reached is, whether it's paying off debt or becoming a decamillionaire, we'd like to feature you and use your story to inspire others. This episode is brought to you by 37th Parallel Properties. There's a substantial body of evidence supporting commercial real estate investing. As one of the good guys in the industry, 37th Parallel Properties is a partner I trust. They've been around for more than 10 years and still maintain a 100% profitable track record with clear reporting and excellent educational content. Many of my readers have invested with 37th Parallel, and so have I, and so far been happy with my investment. Check them out. Hop on over to whitecoatinvestor.com/37parallel. All right, let's get our guest on the podcast. All right, our guest today is Teresa. Teresa, welcome to the Milestones to Millionaire podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Dr. Dowley.
Tell us about what your specialty is and how far you are out of training.
So I'm an internal medicine geriatric physician. I graduated in 2016 from fellowship. So I've been out now for almost 5 years.
And you are a millionaire.
Yes.
5 years out of training, internal medicine doc, and you're a millionaire. That's awesome. Congratulations on your success.
Thank you.
Now, what's your approximate net worth right now?
Right now, a little bit over $1 million.
Markets have been good to you lately.
Yes, and that's a big help. That's a big help for sure.
And what's your net worth divided into? How much is in retirement accounts, other investments, real estate, et cetera?
Sure. About 42% of that is in real estate properties. That's with my husband. And we both have about 55% of the rest is in investments. And so in different stock portfolios.
Okay. And is your husband working as well?
Yes. He's a mechanical engineer.
Mechanical engineer. Okay. So what's been your range of income throughout your career?
So for both of us, coming out of training, it's been anywhere from $280K on up to $372.
Okay. And so in 5 years, if I do the math, that's only about 1.5 million. And you've still got over $1 million of it left.
Yes.
Very impressive, right? It means you've saved a lot of it for sure. Took you 5 years to do it. How'd you do this? How'd you become so wealthy so quickly? Give us the secret tips here.
Sure. Well, a lot of this has come from the real estate properties and the real estate investments. And so kind of early on, my husband and I, we made a plan to just live off one income. And at the time, he was making more. So we lived off his income, and I used my income during fellowship to start to help pay down on loans. And so we just continued this. And so now, as an attending, my income is still used like for investments, whether the stock market and with rental properties. And right now we have 9 total properties, one including our primary residence, but we have 8 rental properties.
Yeah, real estate's a big part of it.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. So take me back to when you came out of school. You mentioned some loans. I'm assuming you had a significant student loan burden. How much did you owe when you came out of school?
I did. I had about $200K. My husband did not have as much. We were definitely poor.
Were you married when you graduated?
From medical school?
Uh-huh.
No, but we got married when I was a resident.
While you're a resident, okay. And what was your net worth when you came out of medical school?
Negative 200.
Had nothing but debt.
Yes.
Okay. And how about by the time you came out of residency 5 years ago? What was the net worth you guys had at that point? At that point, you're married. You had at least some debt pay down that had been done. Maybe he brought some assets in. I don't know.
Sure. So actually, so outside of residency, when I finished training, we still had my student loan debt. During fellowship, we paid down his college debt. We paid down his car. And so when I started work, we still had my car to pay off and my student loan burden from both college and medical school.
What do you think your net worth was then when you came out of fellowship 5 years ago?
Mm.
If you had to guess.
Probably like negative, like
It was still negative.
two
Yeah.
240, yeah, 240,
Yeah. Okay.
250, because we also had the car as well.
Okay. All right. And it doesn't sound like your parents helped pay for school or anything, or that you received any sort of an inheritance along the way.
No, no, but I will say I was very fortunate in that my family did buy a townhome for me. And so I lived there during medical school, and that was actually the start of our real estate journey. And so we rented that out while I was in fellowship. And that, after doing that, we realized, oh, this is a not too bad way to make extra income. And so that gift kind of, really started the real estate business, actually.
I'm guessing you have some significant leverage going on with the real estate business. How much debt do you have currently?
Yeah, we do. We have about 800K in debt with the real estate.
$800,000 in debt and a net worth of over $1 million. So, really not terribly outrageous, is it? It's it sounds like a reasonable amount of leverage for a typical real estate investor.
Yeah, we will. We
All
think
right.
we think so.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. And your parents were able to help you with that condo, but tell me a little more about your upbringing and how that affected your views on money.
Okay. Well, my mom, she always, taught me the importance of saving. And so that's something that I, remember doing as a kid. Half my money that I received went into my savings account. She always taught me never to, get into a lot of credit card debt. So that's something that I always took to heart. And so I never had a huge credit card debt. And if I did have a balance, I would pay it off every month. Um, and then my mom is not a big spender. So the help at the townhome came from extended family members. Like my granddad helped out a lot with that because it was just my mom growing up. So I, being frugal, I did that for her.
Hmm. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back 5 years. Let's go back even 10 years. Someone that is where you were at a decade
Mm-hmm.
ago. What advice do you have for them?
You know, I would definitely encourage to start learning about finances, like for, medical students, residents. Just start. I definitely promote White Coat Investor to any trainee that I come in contact with. I've actually bought, my pre-med mentees, your guide for, medical students, because I think it starts early in just trying to develop, good practices, blogs, even if you're on your way to work, any little thing that you can do. And I definitely recommend to couples to like have written goals. One thing that we use is the one thing couples goals, and where we have to write out written plans for every part of our lives, not just finances, but for children and career and etc. And that really puts us on the same page. And that's really, how we've been able to do this, because we're both on the same page as far as our finances and what we want our lifestyle to be like. And I think if you're able to, have those conversations and be on the same page, this is something that, anybody can do, especially if you're a physician. Um, I'm internal medicine geriatrics. We are on the lower end of the pay scale. So if this is something that, we could achieve in a relatively very short amount of time, I think more of us can do the same.
Awesome. I think that's great advice. Well, congratulations on all your success, Teresa.
Thank you. Thank you.
Doctor,
Thank you. Thank
internist,
you.
geriatrician, wife, millionaire.
Thank
Awesome.
you. Thank you.
Congratulations on your success.
Thank you. And thank you all for having me.
Pretty cool, right? Internists can do it too, right? Internists can do it too. And as you can see, there are many roads to Dublin. You can invest in real estate, you can invest in mutual funds, you can invest in both. But the principles are the same. You earn money, you carve a bunch out, you invest it in some smart way, and it doesn't take long before you're got a lot more money than the average American does. Whether you're a millionaire or whether you're financially independent, you get there very quickly when you have a deliberate plan and you follow it. After we got off the call, she talked a little bit more and actually became a little bit emotional about how what a dramatic change it was when her husband brought the White Coat Investor blog to her and said, "Hey, maybe we should do some of this stuff." And they really took living like a resident to heart, and it's made all the difference in the world in their finances. So congratulations to them. I think it's really pretty awesome. This episode is brought to you by 37th Parallel Properties. There's a substantial body of evidence supporting commercial real estate investing. Through the years, as I gained a deeper understanding of the asset class, I added more and more to my portfolio. But unless you want to manage it yourself, the real trick is to find a trusted investment sponsor. It's one of the good guys in the industry. 37th Parallel Properties is a partner I trust. To check them out, go to whitecoatinvestor.com/37parallel. Keep your head up, shoulders back. You've got this, and we can help. We'll see you next time on the Milestones to Millionaire podcast.
My dad, your host, Dr. Dolly, is a practicing emergency physician, blogger, author, and podcaster. He is not a licensed accountant, attorney, or financial advisor, so this podcast is for your entertainment and information only and should not be considered official, personalized financial advice.